Rivera back again here, another action figure review for you guys. We are looking at the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts, the Great Saiyaman from their Dragon Ball Z line. This is a web exclusive, as we can see with the logo down at the bottom right there. Check out the side, we just got Great Saiyaman in letters, and then on the other side we get some pictures, a little bit of poses, and then on the back side we get some more poses and a look at some of his different faces attached to the body. So check out agelessgeeks.com and pre-order yours now for the US release of it coming next month. If you want to get the US release, you can hit up Ageless Geeks and see if they actually you can see if they have any Japanese releases too. Sometimes we'll have extras, sometimes not, but it doesn't hurt to ask anyways. So right off the heels of the Mr. Satan Hercule release, we have another brand new sculpt figure. We have Gohan as a Great Saiyaman. Looking great right off the bat, right out of the package, looks very good. The paint job is done really well, especially on the helmet, which we will look at. And he comes with a lot of accessories. 4 heads. 4 different heads. Now, in order for us to get those 4 heads, we had to sacrifice something, and that was alternate faces. So each head comes with faces that you cannot swap out. There is no extra faces except for one for this helmeted version, and that is it. But as for the base form, the Super Saiyan form, and the Durag bandana form, we have all one fixed face you cannot swap out. So that's the sacrifice, because I would rather have 4 brand new faces in one figure than miss out on the bandana version or a Super Saiyan form or something. So this is how he comes in the package, packed in just like this. Comes with the cape and the helmet, so he's in his superhero disguise. So here is the helmet up close. Very nice paint. I like the paint they chose here, the colors and just the quality of it. It looks really good. It's this shimmery blue, dark blue for the visor and the top of the helmet, and then the orange color is very glossy and just, it looks nice. It really does look good. It looks very clean overall. Here is our base form. A lot of controversy over this one. People aren't liking this face at all. Definitely isn't the greatest look for a face for him, especially when you look at the Super Saiyan form right here. It's like, what happened, right? So his eyes are totally different, but it still looks like him. Just, it could have been a little better for sure. But there's your Super Saiyan and your base form head, and then last but not least, we have the bandana head with the glasses on, and the mouth is always open, so this is fixed. You cannot take the glasses off. You can't have him without the glasses or with his mouth closed. We get another set of antennas for his helmet, so you see here we have these antennas, and they're angled, so I assume these will stick out straight, but we shall see. They are connected to this plastic piece. You just have to twist them off and apply them to the helmet. And here they are applied. To be completely honest, I don't see much of a difference, so maybe they're just extras. So we do get a pair of open hands with the fingers wide open, spread wide open. Then we get these open hands with the fingers pressed against each other. And then these hands look very similar, but they're actually different. They're almost the same pose. Here are the previous ones I just showed. The thumb is straight on this one, and now this one is pointing inward, and the hands are kind of curved in. So this is to get him into some of those Great Saiyaman poses. And then we got a pair of hands, like grabbing hands, posing hands, to where he can pose like he's about to fight someone. So these are a little slightly different, as you see. This is cool. We actually get an alternate forearm, and this is for his left forearm here, so you can have him without the watch. So if you guys don't know, the watch is what disguises him. It's what gives him the superhero clothing. So once he presses a button on the watch, his helmet comes up, his cape and all, and he's ready to be a superhero. Now I could be wrong, but if my memory serves me right, at some point in the show he breaks or he loses the watch. I don't know, one or the other, or maybe none. I don't know. I could be wrong, but the reason why he wears the bandana and the glasses is to conceal his face, because he doesn't have the helmet anymore for whatever reason, and I think it has to do with the watch. I think that's it. I forget. It's been a while since I watched that saga, so I can't remember exactly why, but Still cool nonetheless. They thought about that. You can have him without the watch, and that's when you want to pose him with the bandana and the glasses. And here is that single alternate face plate or mouth plate, I guess you can say. This is for the helmeted version, of course. So you only swap the mouth and you get a screaming face instead of just the normal neutral face. So that's cool. At least I'm happy with it. Four heads, 4 different forms of this Gohan and Great Saiyaman with a one screaming face for the helmet. I'm all for it. Last but not least, we have a little green piece. So if you want to remove his cape, you can of course have him without the cape because he doesn't always wear it. The top piece here is actually a separate piece from the bottom piece, and it is a very soft plastic material. Very, very pliable, very soft. I mean, you know, very good. And that just hooks in through the back. Right here, there's a peg hole. There's the peg on the cape, and then there's the little slot for that. And this cape seems familiar. This might be the same one from the Time Patroller figures from the Xenoverse releases. It might be a reuse from that. But if it is, it's all good. I mean, they could have done a better cape for sure. But we did get an all-new sculpt here with all new faces and all. So I guess they had to, they had to cut the cost somewhere, and I'm okay with that. So then we can have him without the cape, and then you will have this outline on his back. What can you do about that? Really nothing you can do. So unless you're getting shots of him from the back a lot, then it shouldn't be that much of a bother since it's on the back. Before I do move any further, it's worth mentioning that the cape does make him a little back heavy, so he might slouch back or he might fall back a few times. You gotta really balance him out, but you can do it eventually. The same thing was with the Mr. Satan, and I'm able to stand him up. So it does take some messing around with the balance of the figure to get him to stand with it. And a quick up close look at him, we can take a look at the details. They did add some shading, some darker tones of green along the torso piece. We get a little bit of sculpt here with the little rips on the torso. On the back side, of course, we see the outline. And overall, everything's nicely done. It's very simple. We get the little stretch marks there showing that the belt is on. So that's pretty cool. Got the wrinkles looking good on the torso piece. It's all new sculpt. Even the legs. As for his legs, you can see there's the new 2.0 legs, of course, but it doesn't have that extra plastic piece there since, of course, it's covered. You don't need it. But I figured they did that so it leaves him with more range of motion, which is alright by me. So we have our standard head motion here, left and right, actually 360 degrees. Looks down a lot. I mean, he can touch his chest, then he can look up until it pops off with the helmet. Now with my specific figure, the head's actually sitting a little loose on that ball joint, a little loose for my liking, but I have seen worse. It's actually the only loose part of the figure for me at least, but I can deal with it. It's not as bad as others, but I'm very stingy about loose joints, so that just has to do, I guess, with the size of the ball joint that they did for the figure. Let me know if yours is the same way. The arm will go forward and back, so pretty standard here, or 360 degrees. We all know that. We go in and out on the arm. The bicep's actually really tight. You can hear it squeak. So in and out. We have the shoulder socket with a butterfly joint in there, so you can move it all the way forward. You can see that there. So you can get him in all his Great Saiyaman poses. We get a double jointed elbow. I'm not sure if I mentioned the tight biceps. I'm sure I did. I'm forgetting stuff already. The wrist will swivel. It'll hinge. And then we do get a torso diaphragm joint that will swivel and crunch back, crunch forward. We also do get the movement at the waist. The belt moves around with it. So good motion. The legs are actually good. So very soft, pliable plastic for the skirt bottom piece of his gi. So it's going to go forward and hold the pose just fine without it hindering it or holding it back. In and out, you can pretty much do the split. We get a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. The ankles are going to hinge forward and back. They get a pivot, they get a swivel, and they get that toe hinge for the foot. So let's take a look at the base form head on the body. Then the Super Saiyan head, man, look at the difference there. And actually this sits tighter on the ball joint, so maybe it is just with my helmeted version that it is a little loose, because this one is a lot more tighter on that ball joint. And check that out, there's the Bandana Head. Man, this is like having 4 different figures. You might have to do crazy on this one and buy 4 Great Saiyamans. So there we have him next to his father-in-law, the one and only Hercule, released last month. Should be out in the US any second now, but he stands up almost equal height next to him. If you're looking at the hair, at the top of the hair for Hercule, if you're looking at the forehead, Gohan is taller than Mr. Satan. Goku, this is the Saiyan Raised on Earth version of Goku with the power pole accessory standing up. Actually, Gohan is taller as well over Goku. If you're looking at the forehead or the eyes, the level is actually a little higher than his father. Next to the SHF, Bulma. Next to his younger self, this is Teen Gohan, the SDCC exclusive to be exact, but it is the same mold and figure from the manga regular release. And next to the Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks, he also stands taller than him. And there he is next to the Ultimate Gohan SHF. This is sporting the older body mold, of course, but they're the same height pretty much here. In terms of the forehead and the hair, I think they're stacking up about the same height, so that's good. And if you wanted to put the Ultimate Gohan head on this figure from the older release Gohan, this one right here, this is how he looks. It doesn't fit. The peg hole is actually smaller than the actual peg on this figure, so right now it's just sitting there. It can fall in any minute. So you're gonna have to just lay it there, or drill a hole into this head and make the hole bigger so it can fit snugly. But it doesn't look all too bad. There's the new base form head on the older body. Doesn't match at all. Here is the new Super Saiyan Gohan head on the old Gohan body. This one actually fits in the peg hole, but it doesn't fit snug because the hole is bigger than the peg this time around. So this time we are putting the Gohan head, the new Gohan head, on the Saiyan Raised on Earth body. And it actually doesn't look that bad. Skin tone match is pretty good. Here is the new base form Gohan on that body. This has been my review of the SH Figuarts Bandai Tamashii Nations, the Great Saiyaman from their Dragon Ball Z line. Slash Super. This could be used for Dragon Ball Super. Uses the same exact outfit for that series. Man, I hope we get a Videl. I mean, hopefully this means we get a Videl if this does well. Videl in her regular outfit from that tournament from the Buu Saga would be nice, and also a Great Saiya Girl would be cool too to go along with the Great Saiyaman, you know. Overall, you gotta get this figure in your collection. Any Dragon Ball Z fan, you're crazy for passing this one up. I think Bandai Tamashii has been on a roll this year. This is by far the best year in Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts out of all their years. And it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon, because we still have Super Buu coming next. Then we have the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie figures, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta coming next. Then we have Comic-Con and whatever else they reveal at the con to come out for the rest of the year. So very exciting year for Dragon Ball Z fans and their SH Figuarts. That's it. I got no more to say. Pick up the figure. You'll be happy. So rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, have a great day. Bye.